Good afternoon, everyone. I know this is a last minute thing for me, but right now, I have to address a issue. I'm not gonna say it's only a man's issue, but I have a issue that I feel as though needs to be addressed. And like I said, I'm not saying it is a man issue, but it is a man issue. Hey, Toya, got my niece on here. Evangelist, Missionary White, how you doing? I have an issue that I think needs to be addressed. And I know that church folks don't want to address it, but I'm going to put it in a way that they will understand me without me having a Parham moment. Because I feel as though that, well, I'm going to get into it in a minute. Give me a minute, y'all, to say what I have to say. And like I said, I know it's a last minute thing, but y'all know I don't usually ask you to like and share. But right now, I need y'all to not like it, but you can share it, please. I want to address this issue. And to some people, it may not be an issue. But when I say what I have to say, it's going to be an issue with a lot of people that are grown up. Some people may not have a problem with it because they may say, oh, it don't affect me. But I have a issue with the way things are happening in society. I have an issue when it comes to the way things are being presented. I have a real issue with it. And like I said again, I'm going to address my issue in a couple seconds. Like I said, I know this is a last minute thing, but I'm asking that, just share it. I don't care if you don't like it, but please share it. And I guess people say, well, when he start talking like that, something about to go down. Well, you know what? It's about to go down. It's about to go down, for real, for real. I'm trying to get everybody from my hometown of Trenton, New Jersey on here because I have an issue, and my issue needs to be addressed. And some of the preachers don't like to address the issue unbeknownst to me of why. Preachers don't like to say what I say. Preachers don't like to share what I share. Some preachers don't even support me as being another ecclesia in the gospel that preaches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all these quote unquote so-called men of God, these so-called big name preachers, these so-called peoples who say that I'm God sent. I'm about to put you on notice. I'm about to put you on notice because at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of these so-called preachers, these men and women of God who say it's more of the men than it is of the women. I'm tired and sick. I'm sick and tired of how, we sit back and we watch our children fall by the wayside. I'm sick. I'm just sick and tired of it. And as I say, just give me one more minute, please, please. You can share it. You don't have to like it, but I'm asking you to share it, especially for those who are in my hometown of Trenton, New Jersey. Please share. Please share, y'all. I'm almost finished. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Let me get started right quick. I got a phone call from a good friend of mine, and she was expressing to me how she didn't want her grandson to fall victim to the streets. She expressed to me how You know, the father was deceased. And she was basically saying what she wanted to happen and not have happen. But you know what? It's funny to me how we as men can say we're tired of young men going to prison. We're always saying how we don't want our sons getting caught up in the system. But what are we doing to keep these juveniles out of jail? What are we doing to keep the young men out of prison? What are we doing? It behooves me to understand that preachers, the ones who say that I'm called, sent by God, what are you called by God to do? Is it just to collect tithes and offerings? Is it just to finagle yourself in the pulpit? What are you called to do? When you have young kids right now dying every day, when you have young kids falling by the wayside, when you have young kids that don't have an outlet, don't have nobody to call daddy or nobody to call my big brother to show them the correct way, but you got mothers out here who are crying out for help. Where are the clergy? Where are the quote-unquote so-called leadership of communities? And as I'm talking, people's names is coming to my head, and I'm sending them a message right now here on Facebook, because I'm trying to figure out, like, where are the men at? Where are the big brothers at? Where are the preachers who saying that, hey, I got your back? When you got people who are crying out, because see, I can talk about men and young juveniles in jail because I work amongst them. I work amongst them. Yeah, I work amongst them. Hold on, wait a minute, because as I'm talking to y'all, names is coming to my head. Names is coming to my head, so I have to send this out while it's on my heart. While it's on my heart, I'm sending this out. Because I'm sick and tired of, we're always preaching one thing, but we're doing something else. If God called you to be a servant, who are you serving? When we have young men going to prison, going to jail every day. So who are you serving? We got parents out here who are crying out for help for their children. For their young children, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It could go on up. So where are we at? We say we men of God. We say we are chosen to do God's work, to preach His word. So where are the preachers at? Where are the men? Where are the real men? When you got kids crying out for help, parents crying out for help. See, like I said again, I work amongst these little juveniles who have committed murder, who have committed extortion, attempted murder, robbery, rape. I work amongst them. But to have a grandmother cry out for a 6-year-old, 7-year-old child because there's no men in his life and nobody, they turn their back on her or they give her the runaround. Come on, y'all. Where we at with this? Where we at? Yeah, I'm going off because what I don't understand is we're always asking people to pray for the youth. We're always asking people to watch out for the youth. But where are the real men? Where are the real men? Who can text me or who can email me a program that's designed to help these little kids stay off the streets? Give them a positive outlook in which way that they can go. Who's willing to do that? I'm waiting in South Carolina crying out for Trenton, New Jersey, Mercer County to help. Where are all these preachers at? The Masonic order, the Omegas, where are they at when you need them? Where they at? Yeah, I'm calling you all out. If you don't like it, my phone number is 252-360-9833. Call me up. But I'm trying to figure out, like, where are these fatherhood men? You say you want to help reconstruct your neighborhood? You trying to save the little kids? Well, how are you trying to save them? That's my only question. When you got parents crying out for help, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, great aunts, you got them crying out for help. They don't want to see their grandsons fall victim to the system. So where you at? Where you at? See, that's the bad part about life itself. We can talk a good game, but see, my daddy used to say, little nigga, either shut up or put up. Where are the brothers at now? When a woman needs you, not just in the bed, but when she needs you outside the bed. She needs you to help nurture her children, your children. Where you at now? Where are the brothers at now? I just don't understand it. You're good on Sunday mornings. You're good throughout the week. But when somebody really needs your help, where you at? I can't even get you to come and talk to my grandson. But you say you are a neighborhood community man. You say you are a big brother for those who need help. Where the big brothers at now? You have a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old. Very young. The mindset of them has not even been physically developed yet. All they see is negative, negative, negative. I see drug dealers. I see drug pushers. You see all of this, but where are the real men in the world who can say, you know what? I'm here to make a difference. I'm here. Where they at? Where they at? Where are the real men? Where are the Muslims at? Where are the ones that says structurally they are here to help? Where they at? Where they at? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going off on a rant today, but you know what? It's one thing for me to be right where I'm at, but it's another thing to be where I'm at and it go to no vote, to no and no. I'm just being real. I'm being real. Where are the real men at? We can lock them up, but we can't catch them before they get locked up. We can talk about how deviant they are in the street, but we can't help do what? We can't help birth them to where they need to be at. So where are the real men? See, we need some men who is willing to say, you know what? You could be 6 years old. You could be 7 years old. Guess what? I'm a big brother. I'm going to come look out for you. I'm going to come help protect you. I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to show you that there's more to life than running the streets, selling drugs, making babies. But I'm going to teach you right from wrong. See, you got right, because like I said again, this is something, this is the issue that I have when it comes to a black man. We don't have that. We don't have that anymore. We got kids today who are lost. Like I said again, if I have a 13-year-old that just committed murder, don't know his daddy, his brothers and them don't care about him, but you 13, you committed murder. You 9 years old and you committed attempted murder. Come on, y'all. But you say the youth is destroyed. The mindset of the youth is gone. The mindset of the youth is no good. So when do we as people, when do we as leaders come together and develop the mindset of the children of today? It doesn't have, to me, to be personally look at me, it takes a village to raise a kid. But guess what? The village is no longer in existence. We got children dying every day. Where's the village? We got kids out here toting guns. Where's the village? We got kids out here raping. Where's the village? We got kids out here that's uneducated. Where's the village? I can prove they're uneducated. I had a 16-year-old come up to me. He had to sign a piece of paper, and it said, he said, Bishop OG. He said, I see what it would say right here. He said, what does this mean? I said, you have to sign your name. He says, I don't know how to write in cursive. You're 17 years old. Number one, you can't tell time, but you done committed a crime with a firearm. And then you tell me that you can't sign your name. You don't know how to write in cursive. Where have we lost this at? We have lost the village. Our young kids is out here committing crimes every day, but you say you a civic leader, you a community leader. How can you be within your community when you have people crying out for 6 and 7-year-olds to get help, and they can't even call you because when they call you, you do what? You put them on a back burner. You put them on a back burner. But then as soon as they get arrested, guess what? You have everything in the world to say when they get arrested. You want to throw them up under the bus. Oh, he wasn't no good. At the age of 9, how is a kid no good at the age of 9 and he being influenced by the street? Not the church house. Not the well, I can't say that because I know in the barbershops where I'm from, they educate the youth. They educate them. But what is churches doing? And don't tell me about no COVID. Don't tell me about no air diseases out here. Because guess what? You're not too busy to go to the club. You're not too busy to go to the liquor house. You're not too busy to go to Walmart. But our children of today is dying out. The children of today needs to stop. And people need to look at the children of today who needs help. I see Jugga Muhammad said something about foolishness and seed religion. It's not only the churches, it's the community. It's the community. I had a great aunt. God bless her soul. But guess what? Hattie Lee, Mary Reeds, they helped develop North Trenton Brunswick Avenue. Women, they cried out for us to be saved. Women. So where are the men at? Where are the men? When will the men step up behind the plate? Where the men at? I'm so mad, y'all. Y'all just don't know. I want to have a Parham moment so bad, but I said I'm not going to have a Parham moment because guess what? I am sick and tired of these men running around here with invisible skirts on. You say you a daddy? Damn it, be a daddy. But you got kids falling by the wayside. Little boys falling by the wayside because guess what? You're so big. You don't have time. But you can show me how to sell drugs. You can show me how to get a gun. You can show me all the gang hand lockups. You can show me all the gang signs. But you can't show me how to be an honest young man in society, get an education, and get a true job. You can't do that. Yeah, I am hot. I'm supposed to be in the bed taking a rest, sleeping. But you know what? This made me mad today. When you got people out here who are trying to get help for their children, their sons, their grandsons, their great-great-grandsons, their nephews, and nobody in the community is willing to reach out. Where are the real men at? Oh, well, I have a program, Bishop, but my program don't start until they're 10 years old. Do you know a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old can shoot a gun just as fast as a 13-year-old or 14-year-old? Don't tell me a kid can't handle a gun when I work amongst it. I see it myself. So why can't you help mentor? Why can't you help direct that 6-year-old, that 7-year-old in the right path? Why can't you do that? Why can't a man be a man and step up to the plate? I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't see the comments in front of me, but now if I look over here, I can see them. Men never step up because they only talk to the women who have always do the work, the pray, the cry, and the walk the floors. Yeah, but see, we don't have that no more. We don't have that no more. You can't give up on what you can't give up on what you don't have. You're right. You're right. You're right. But those of us who have, Dave, those of us who have tried to fight a good fight, it's hard to see this. It's hard for a real man to see it. Bring your sons, bring your boys and men to the mosques in your local city. We need to start acting like there's no programs of community correction in our communities. We just don't want to do it. You're right. Jackie Muhammad, you're right. You're so right. See, I'm not crying out for South Carolina. I'm crying out for Trenton, New Jersey, Ewing Township, New Jersey, Hamilton, New Jersey. And when I get mothers call me up and tell me this stuff, but then we got elected officials. What are you doing? What are you doing? What kind of programs do you have to help structure the lives of these little kids that are 6 years old, 7 years old, 8-year-old? See, we keep harking on the pre-adolescence of teenagers. 12, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13, that pre-teen stage. But what's happening to the little kids? So you may never know it because they're little, and it's illegal. Let me tell you the legal ramifications of it. It's illegal to say you have a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old that pulled the gun and killed somebody. It's illegal for you to say that. Why? Because they're minors. It's why? Because that's something that you don't want to hear. Oh, my 8-year-old son raped his 5-year-old sister. We ready to throw him in a program or throw him behind bars saying that, okay, he did this crime, so guess what now? He got to do juvenile life. He's going to stay in prison or in jail, juvenile jail, or juvenile prison, until he's 21 years old. We would accept that because somebody's getting paid to house this child. Somebody's getting paid on the side. But what happened to the programs when we don't want our children to be falling by the wayside? Where are those programs at? Where are those programs at? Huh? Where are those programs to help get our kids off the street? Where are those programs at? I need to know. Because like I said, we are so eager to preach one thing, but when our little kids need help, when our little kids need someone that they can look up to. We live in a dysfunctional society where, guess what? The only thing matters now is legs, Kool-Aid cat, and money. As long as I get high, get drunk, I got money in my pocket, I'm good. But what happens to the kids that come behind us that we need to raise as little boys to become men to help society grow? We don't have that anymore. That structure is no longer in existence. We don't have that anymore. Why is that? Because nobody cares. They don't care until a kid gets locked up. Or somebody else's life get taken, or till a white cop kills a black kid. Then that's when everything matters. Then, but now, while you can grasp the mindset of a child, 6 or 7 years old, and you can't even help them, damn it, please. I said I wasn't gonna get upset. I did tell y'all that. But it's just heartfelt when you got these kids falling by the wayside. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. And they falling by the wayside. So where we at? The only program for our people is to do for self. Niggas and white people aren't going to fix us because they are making a living from our dysfunctions. One thing about doing for ourselves, Jakim Muhammad, is we have to get up with the mindset to do for ourselves. So many people is depending on other people to do for them. But when there's not a male figure within that community essence, then guess what? The men should be like they were back in the day. If we go back to historical time, the men of the village protected the village. There is no more men to protect the village. If I go to where I'm from, we had Sammy Reeves and the 40 Thieves. They protected North Trenton. They protected the boys in North Trenton. They protected us. They made sure you knew how to fight. You knew how to stand up for yourself. There was no guns. There was no knives. You put your hands up. If you acted up in school and they found out about it, they stepped to you as a man, as a father figure or a brother figure, whatever way you wanted to go. But we don't have that no more. So we're not doing for ourselves. We're not looking out for each other. That's why I say, people, I'm getting sick and tired of this. Like I said, when you work in that atmosphere, you see who's coming and who's going. We see how many kids getting locked up. We see how many kids are falling by the wayside. We see this. So don't tell me a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old can't shoot a gun when I see it regularly. You can't tell me that. Can't nobody tell me that. You 8 years old raping your 5-year-old sister. You can't tell me that. And then you got mothers who are crying out. Grandmothers, aunts, great aunts who are crying out help for a child that young. And we're so busy worrying about what the president is doing and what everybody else is doing. But we can't take care of our own community. Where are the community leaders? Where are they? See, me, I couldn't be in Trenton, New Jersey right now. Because, see, I will call out every single community leader right now in Trenton, New Jersey, where I'm from. I'll call them out. What they going to do to me? Beat me up? Sue me? What? Or have an order of cease and desist of me talking about them in social media? What can they do to me? My thing is, you got hired to do a job, but you're losing your community. I can prove it. I can prove it. It was so crazy. I had a sister reach out to me, and she was telling me about an issue. And like I said again, I believe that if her husband didn't leave her for another man, and I ain't gonna say no names, but guess what? I don't think that the persons that tried to take advantage of her when it came to housing would have did it if a man was in the picture. Different topic of the relationship, but I reached out to a person that's a politician. Now, whether she reached out to her or not, I don't know, because I've been so busy. But I'm just saying, politicians, when it comes to politics, have jobs to do, have things that they are supposed to do within their communities. Plain and simple. Man, I don't care you gay or not. You was hired to do a job. What about the men, the little boys in the city? What kind of programs has the city constructed like we did back? We had Weed and Seed. We had the Green Team. We had Team Post. We had the Little Tornadoes. We had activities where the kids was in the midst of it all to do what? To be around people that cared about them. The internet is the parental guide for our offsprings. We're just breeding like slaves without an authority over our children. So until we address the truth of our condition, it stays the way and gets worse. Jakim, you're right. You are right. You are so right. You are so, so right. We need to address it. We need, because when we was growing up, we had Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers. But see, we didn't care about that because we wanted to do what? We wanted to get outside and ride our bicycles. We wanted to get out. Kids today don't get good grades. Parents still go buy them a $500, $600 a game to play on all day long. Buy them tablets and cell phones. Like they got a job. Like they paying the bills. So where are the real men at to step up? When I need you, where are you? When they need you, where are you? That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. So when it comes to Mercer County, New Jersey, I need the men. I need a mentoring program for a 6 and a 7-year-old child, a boy. That's what I need. I need a program in Trenton, New Jersey, or the surrounding circumference of Mercer County to tell me where is there a program for 6 and 7-year-olds. Like I said again, don't tell me a 7 or 8-year-old cannot shoot a gun. I've seen it happen. Don't tell me a 8-year-old cannot get a crime that will lock him up until he's 21-year-old. That's called juvenile life. Don't tell me it's not possible when I see it right here in South Carolina. But you got a mother, a grandmother, a great aunt calling out for help, and nobody want to step up to help. You keep giving them the runaround. I'm not going to mention nobody's names, but I know who you are. I know who your programs are. I know all of that. So don't tell me a 7-year-old kid can't pull the trigger of a gun and kill somebody. Don't tell me that. So where are the real men? See, I just seen one of my old teachers pop up in here. And see, Mrs. Robinson, she didn't play with us. She taught us what we needed to learn, but she didn't play with us. If you do wrong, I am not going to co-sign on your doing wrong. I'm not going to push you along because you're doing wrong. Miss Robinson didn't play with us, but she taught us right from wrong. Conrad Purnell taught us right from wrong. So where are the real teachers at up to date? Well, you got a 6 and 7-year-old that needs help. You got a 6 and 7-year-old that need guidance. You have a 6 and 7-year-old who mother, who grandmother, who great aunt don't want them to fall victim to the same era of life that their fathers did. Where they at? Where they at? Yeah, I'm way here in South Carolina, but I'm crying out for Mercer County, New Jersey. I'm crying out for Trenton, Lawrence, Hamilton, Ewing, White City. I'm crying out for them. Bromley. I'm crying out for them. So where they at? Where they at? And that's the crazy thing about life. We will allow them to hang themselves. And when they hang themselves, then we'll talk about them. Hear me once again. We will allow a child to hang itself, and then we will talk about him. Like I said, I keep wanting to just explode and say some stuff that's ungodly. But right now, I can't do it. I can't do it. Because what I see is deceitful. What I see is wrong. But you'll say, hey, Brent, we got to get together Friday. Because I'm free Friday. So what I see is how we have allowed our children to be thrown to the wayside. Now, don't get me wrong. I got to take a drink. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every pastor, every church leader is like this. I'm not saying every civic leader is like this. What I'm saying is that we need to allow our powers to be influenced on the children that we don't want to lose. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when your child comes to me, I'm going to teach your child how to say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm going to teach your child how to do that. One way, either voluntary or involuntary. Your child will respect me. Okay? And that's life. That's reality. Ms. Robinson says, mention names to make elected officials accountable. Church has to be the church outside of walls. Amen. Prayer warriors are needed and love in action. You are so right, Mrs. Robinson. So it's time for the mayor of Trenton, New Jersey to step up. I don't know when the next election is, but you know what? Somebody needs to pull his coattail and tell him, look, this is what's needed. If you can find funds to do A, B, C, D, and E, you can find funds that have programs for children that's, guess what, that's fallen by the wayside. You can find them. You can find money for anything else. Find money for that. Find money how to keep our communities together. Find money how to keep our young boys from going to jail, from going to prison. Let me tell you something. When you find programs that can help your children, guess what? They don't have time to get in trouble. Because to me, when it came to swimming during the summer, it was, to me, swimming was more important than going out here robbing somebody. In school, getting good grades, singing in a choir was more important to me going out here getting some punani every day. It was more than me than cutting class. Because guess what? I wanted to swim. I wanted to sing. So at the end of the day, programs like that, the Little Tornado Football League, it kept our minds busy. We didn't have time to go out here and cut up. But we can find money for everything else. City council, councilman at large, councilwoman at large. You can find money for everything else. Find money to help keep our boys out of jail. That's why I said, I'm kind of glad I'm not home right now. Because guess what? I will call out every single councilman, every single mayor, every politician, community leader. I will call you out. And like I said, what you going to do? Beat me up? Serve me with a cease and desist letter? For me to shut my mouth? Because it angers me. When you got people crying out for help and nobody is there to help. So who's going to save our little boys? Can somebody tell me that? Who's going to save our little boys? Ms. Robinson said about coming outside the church walls. We got so many church leaders. All they're worrying about is that money coming in. Tithes and offerings. But what about saving souls? Jakim Muhammad put up an address. I believe it was, if I'm looking at it right, it was on Hanover Street. 208 Hanover Street. Making little boys into real men. Making little boys into real men. And that's a shame. We worry so much about what's inside the church house, but we don't look at what's outside the church house. It's a shame how we allow our little boys to grow up to be little girls. It's a shame how we cannot, as men, come together and find ways to develop. We can't come together to find ways to make our little boys grown men. But we can find ways to do everything else up under the sun, but we can't find ways to do that. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. And it's an issue that needs to be addressed. It's an issue that needs to be addressed. And I said again, all these pastors, you like calling me out, calling me this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, we have an issue in our own town of Trenton, New Jersey that needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. It does. It really does. And it can't get addressed but we're always looking at the money. It can't get addressed because we don't want other people to see our wrong. But let me tell you here, and I'm about to get off of here. We need the real men, the real clergymen to step up to the plate. We need the real community leaders to step up to the plate. We need the real fathers to step up to the plate. We need the real grandfathers to step up to the plate. I'm sick and tired of every time I turn around, nobody wants to help the children. Like I said, we got little boys that's falling to the wayside because nobody wants to help. But then as soon as they get in trouble and they get locked up behind bars, everybody and their mama want to cry out. So where are the real church folks at? Where are the real community leaders? Where are the real men? Where are the real brothers at that's willing to step up to the plate? Who is going to save the village? The village is already lost. We're halfway through a losing battle. And like I said, anything I say, I can back it up. Whether in person or behind the keyboard, I can back it up. I can back it up. And I keep sending this thing out to all these so-called mentors, these so-called people who are out here saying that they are their brother's keeper. You're a lying wonder. That's what you are. Hey, Nancy. So my thing is, where are all the men at? Where are all the leaders? And like I said again, I'm getting tired of people telling me, well, no, we only take on kids that are preteens. They're 10, 11, and 12 years old. But like I told you, I know a kid right now that's in Colombia that raped his 5-year-old sister. I know a kid right now in Colombia that's 12 years old. Murder. Pull the trigger. 7-year-old, pull the trigger. So, why are we sitting back allowing our village to be lost? We need to step up as men, as a community, and put this thing back in order. We need to do that. Put it back in order. We need to get our communities back in order. On that tip, like I said again, for those on here hiding cowards behind excuses, you are right. See, Nancy, you done gave me my second win. You are right. Cowards. Hiding cowards. You know funny? People will send a kid out to sell drugs knowing that if a kid get locked up, he can get out because he's a juvenile. Hiding cowards behind excuses. That's what I'm saying. You hide behind skirts. And when the kids of our community needs help, they need guidance. Nobody want to guide. Nobody want to guide them no more. But as soon as our little boys end up going to jail and prison, you're saying, well, where's the black man at? Well, they all in prison or they all homosexual. But you don't prevent that before it happens. You don't try to prevent that before it happens. Oh, well, there are so many women in church. There's no men in church. Why not? Because there was no structure and discipline for them growing up. I can tell you why. There's no structure or discipline. There's nobody to tell them right from wrong. That's right. We have a lot of wrong out there in the street. But we have nobody to teach them what's right. So, I done got some crazy text messages. So I'm through. But I'm telling you, I'm crying out for Trenton, New Jersey. All of you politicians, and I don't care who shared this. You don't have to like it, but please share it. Because I'm going to YouTube with this one. Whoever don't like it, like I said again, you can call me and talk to me. Or better yet, I'll tell you when you just ask me, when am I coming home? I'll tell you when I'm coming home. And I will address you and anybody else in the same manner. I have no reason to hide. I never hide. So, there's structure in the church, but there's no physical consequences for wrongdoing. That's the difference. You're right. You're right. There is structure in the church, but there's no physical consequences for wrongdoing. You're right. You're right. I'm not going to argue with you, John. I'm not going to argue with you on that one, but you're right. So whenever the church lines up and do right, then our community can line up and do right. But someone needs to be held accountable. And see, I only can talk about church because I'm a bishop in the Lord's church. And I see wrong. I see wrong. I see 7-year-old little boys carrying pocketbooks. I see that. And I stop them. The mothers don't like it. But I stop them. I stop them. When the little boys start kissing on themselves, I stop them. I stop them. Because I don't condone that. God bless it, Pastor Ema. That's my sister, y'all, Fatisha. So we have to step up to the plate. And see, you and Nancy got me started all over again. Because it's true. Who's going to be held accountable for that 6-year-old, that 7-year-old, that 8-year-old? Like I said again, I've seen this stuff happen. 5-year-old an 8-year-old robs a 5-year-old. A 7-year-old shoots a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, kills him. So don't tell me that these kids under the age of quote-unquote pre-teens can't commit crimes. Yes, they can. Because guess what? There is no structure in their lives. There's no accountability for the men to step up. Pull your drawers up, your boxers, and step up and do the job. Real men raise real men. Real men raise real men. That's fact. That's fact. Children of today feel though they are entitled to do what they want, say what they want. But a real man is not going to allow a child to run him over. A real man is going to teach this child, this boy, right from wrong. But we don't have that anymore. And I'm sick and tired of it. We will criticize what's good and what's bad. We'll criticize when a boy go out here and do something wrong as a child. But we don't try to stop it before it starts. I had people tell me about the word proactive. I shouldn't use it in certain ways that I use it, being proactive. But you have to realize something. When you think proactively, you're thinking before stuff happens. You're thinking about saving that child's life before it's lost. You're thinking about educating that child before it's too late. You're thinking about how you can help get this child to become a man before it's too late. Yes, that's what you're doing. But we don't have to think it's so proactive anymore because we don't have time for that. We got so much other stuff to deal with, but we don't look at the children of today. We got programs that's structured for boys, but what happens to the ones that are preteens? What happens to them? What happens to them? I don't understand how we can be so my when it comes to the structuring of the community, the taking care of, I am my brother's keeper. I'm going to help raise the village. But what happens when the village is lost? how can we reconstruct a king, a prince to become a king? How can we do that when the village is lost? Males are born, men are made. True fact. Nancy says, the Bible says, mark the perfect man. We have the best example, Jesus. He will always lead and guide you in the way you should act as a man. I agree with that. The only part that I'm looking at and I'm saying is this. We don't have any more men in church to show them what the Bible says. We got so many women in church. They can nurture a child, get them to read, but what about the men? To say, hey, son, read this with me. Hey, son, this is what God's word is. We don't have that anymore. He will always lead and guide you in the way you should act as a man. You are right. We do just not enough. You're right. But when you come from an inner city, the inner city, West Trenton, North Trenton, East Trenton, South Trenton, the inner city, it's hard to depict little boys going to church. They are far and few, and they are few and far between. You're right. You're right. And then once they get in the system, then it's a whole different ball game. Like I said again, if we're going to talk a talk, we need to walk the walk. I don't care how far you go in life, you should never stop being a big brother or a father figure in a child's life. I'm talking myself hoarse because I was upset. Because I have an issue with politicians. I have an issue with church leaders. I have an issue with community leaders. I have an issue with fathers. I have an issue with big brothers. I have so many issues when it comes to these kids of tomorrow. We're losing them because we have not stepped up to the call that is in our lives and the call that could be in their life. We haven't stepped up to that. And we need to. We need to. These church leaders. You know, it's funny. I had a preacher tell me, well, Bishop, I can't have you come preach at my church because you speak reality. I said, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I said, cool, that's no problem. No problem. And I think I'm kind of happy he did say that to me. Because people don't want no real man coming to their church speaking. The men that are needed to remain encouraged and strong to go out and to recruit lives and lead us by example. The church is supported to be a documentation factor of God's fearing community active men. We have to address the culture of our spirituality practice and become religious in the liberation of our people. You're right. You're right. Both of y'all are right. But how do we get to this point? How do we get here? How do we get here? I'm kind of glad that man didn't, because one thing I can say, at least he was straight up with me. Because when I go preach in churches, I'm not coming to tell you a lie. I'm not going to come hack on my side to get your money. I'm not coming to look for a female that I can take back to my hotel. That's not me. I got a wife. I got my own money. I got a job. So guess what? I'm not going to come and lie to nobody just to get a $50 in an offering plate. I'm not going to come and lie just to get $1,000. No, that's not me. I'm going to come and say what thus says the Lord. I am a deliverance preacher, not a prosperity preacher. And in deliverance, guess what? I'm going to try to deliver you to do what? To make it to heaven. To raise those, because the Bible tells us in the law, I am my brother's keeper. So if you're your brother's keeper, why are so many of our children going to jail? Why don't we have time for the young boys? Interesting. I scratched my head to that. Jails are filling up. Like I said again, I worked amongst it. I do. And don't tell me, oh, well, we have programs for teenagers. Like I told you, I know a 8-year-old that raped a 5-year-old. I know a 7-year-old that killed a 15-year-old. 14 or 15, I think 15, shot him. So where are the men to help our little boys become real men? Where are these church leaders? Where are they? Where are they at? If you can stay behind 4 walls, come out of them 4 walls. We got too many boys becoming victims of society. We got too many boys. Too many boys. Deacons are responsible for fishing in the new soldiers in the army of the Lord. When I say church leaders, Brother Jakil Muhammad, I mean pastors, deacons, elders, superintendents, whatsoever you want to call yourself in the household of faith, then guess what? That's who I'm talking to. And there should be no reason why we're allowing our little soldiers to be lost on the battlefield. There's no reason. There's no reason. And like I said again, when they're out here committing crimes, we shake our heads and say, what happened? Don't say what happened. Don't say what happened. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's look at how we can fix this problem. We can fix anything else that needs to be fixed. Let's fix this problem with our 6, 7, and 8-year-old children that are going out here being lost to the wayside, being slaughtered to the devil. You say we are raising kings, then guess what? Stop allowing our pre-kings to be fallen victim to those in the street. They shouldn't be drug dealers. They shouldn't be toting guns, raping 5-year-old sisters. We shouldn't be in the midst of this. So if you say you are actually, helping the community, then help the community. Put these politicians on call. Mayors, city council, councilmen at large, councilwoman at large. Put them out. Put these senators, these congressmen in your district, in your city, in your state. Put them on blast. Because we got too many children, too many boys ended up in jail. Evangelist Mason says we fail to understand. Wait a minute, she says. Evangelist Mason says we fail to understand God's relationship with humans. We can't understand God's relationship with humans because humans don't want God. Ooh. Did I say that? I did. Okay. Some humans don't want God. So how can we have a relationship with God? Or like Jakim, he's a Muslim, I guess with Muhammad. How can we understand a relationship with him when we don't want one with him? I might have to continue this evening because I'm getting too many messages over here and over here about what I'm saying. My sister, the missionary. So wait a minute. 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm getting messages here, and here, y'all. My sisters, the missionaries, are responsible for the female recruits and development. The deacons are the male's example, attraction, and leadership in order to prosper. Remake our males into men. I may have to continue this evening, but I'm telling y'all what I see right now. And see, here comes another pioneer in this equation. This guy right here, DJ Lopez. DJ Lopez will tell you, oh, this is how I mix. Now, back in the day, where before they had all this the digital stuff, DJ L would put I think like 2 nickels on top of his S-arm Technique turntables with them diamond tip needles, and he would show you what to do, but he wouldn't allow you to touch it unless he had like the old needles because of the price of the diamond tip needles. That was a pioneer in the hip hop era in Trenton, New Jersey. Guess what? He showed the little boys how to do chicka 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 chicka, how to mix. We don't have that no more. We don't. We don't have these people who have the mindset to show them the right way. We got Bishop Howard on here, who will show them. He comes outside his 4 walls. He will show them the right way. He can tell them what happens on the inside and on the outside. We don't have that no more. I'm trying to stop because I have a 4 o'clock appointment. But I tell you, I keep seeing these pioneers pop up that was within the inner city. It's time for us to either put up or shut up. And that's just facts. I asked everybody today, you don't have to like it. Just share this. Because I have an issue. I have an issue when a mother, a grandmother, and an aunt and great aunt is calling out for help. And these community leaders, these community quote-unquote men, is giving them fabricated stories on why they can't do what they want to do. And as they said, I'm going back. Somebody said they're hiding behind their excuses. I think it was Pastor Blue Robinson that said they're hiding behind their excuses. So I'm sorry, I got stuff going on both sides of me. I'm going to keep going like this. So a female can bring a male into the church. We are fisher of men. Draw them, bring them, and let God clean them up. I agree. All boys should be forced to study a martial art as a child, period. Yeah, we was forced, y'all. But guess what? At the end of the day, it made us better men because it gave us some kind of self-discipline. Hey, y'all, check this out. Tonight, I'm coming back on to finish this up. Like I said, I have to get ready. I have a 4 o'clock, and I have to prep myself for this meeting. So we will finish this up tonight. Pass it along. It's going to be a part 2 about Bishop Fulton Parham. I have an issue. All right. God bless y'all. I'm going to try my best to do it by 7:30 tonight. I hope it ain't too late. But Bishop Fulton Parham has an issue, part 2. I'm about to post it on my page, but I'm coming back on tonight. Tonight. And check this out, y'all. I just seen Bishop Howard on here. Bishop, tell Mama Brenda, this is what Charleston County is doing. They are representing Breast Cancer Month. We are wearing these now for Breast Cancer Month. All right, y'all. Part 2, 7:30 tonight. God bless you. Please tune in and share it with your little boys. Because tonight I'm going to address the little boys in entirety also. But I want to address, like I did a few minutes ago. I've been on here almost an hour or more. But I want to finish addressing tonight at 7:30. Y'all have a blessed day. Be safe. Stay out of the heat. And tonight, 7:30, let's take this to the next level. Okay? We need our pre-kings to become king. God bless you.